Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakah Kadash, double honor to the apostles. Held this great millstone. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing this truth and sincerity all over the earth. Shalom to you, full like the brothers and a few sisters that watch the videos out there. And I'm going to make this just a quick one, real quick. Give me 1 second, though. Take a sip of water. Now this thing came up on my feed, and it said, "What did Ezekiel actually see?" And this is now. There's two. I think they're talking about in Ezekiel 10, but then I also got Ezekiel 1 as well. But pretty much, this is what they think that, and the reason why I say this is because I'm going to assume this is when he was talking about the chariots. When he was talking about the chariots, and this is not a representation of what Ezekiel saw, because the eyes, when you go into there, when you look at the eyes, when it's going into the chariots, it's talking about the lights. That's what they are. It's not actual eyeballs just sitting on the chariot, just blinking and looking at people. No, man, that's just not what it is. That just goes to show that these people don't have the spirit and the eyesight to see what's actually going on. And mainly because they're not Israelites, because Israelites are the people that's going to understand the mysteries, the understanding of the scriptures. And then more importantly, out of the Israelites, out of the chosen seed, the elect is going to understand the scriptures fully and be able to break it down with these things. You see? not these so-called wannabe scholar Edomites, or these people that went to seminary school for 20 years and think you know something. You still don't know anything, man. You see, the reason why that when you watch brothers from all over the world be able to go into the word and break it down and go into scriptures, go into precepts and tell you what this means, what happened here, and see and get ready to link the scriptures up together and do that, is because the spirit of the Lord, man, the spirit of truth, the spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, that spirit has been putting on these dead bones, the valley of the dry bones. So we were all with dry bones at a point in time. We was all with dry bones because we didn't have the word. We didn't have that living water. You see, we didn't have that breath of life. We didn't have this. We were heathens. We were acting as Gentiles, as it were. Like we were when we were celebrating Christmas, birthdays, and Halloween and all the other stuff. When we was doing that stuff, getting tattoos and smoking and doing all types of things, we were dry bones at the time. But now the spirit of life, the breath of life, and that living water has came into us. Now we can go to the scriptures, break down what it means, read it, and tell you what's going on. You see, these scholars and these people, they don't know what's going on, man, because this is a prime example. When it said the lights, when it says the eyes, it wasn't talking about that. It was talking about the lights. That's what they were. It was lights, not eyeballs. You see? You have to understand this also. Another thing is, when you're reading scriptures, which I always bring this up. I always bring up this point for John the Revelator in Revelation. When he was describing the missiles, he also said that when he's saying there were stars that were falling down. So obviously at his point, do you understand, in the scriptures, at the point in time when they're recording these things that they're seeing and the way that they talk, and their visions and stuff like that, when you're reading these things, you have to understand that they're using the stuff that they had back then at that time to describe what they're seeing. You see, they didn't have the technology and the stuff that we have now. You see, now we know that in Revelation, when John was talking about the star, we know he's talking about the missiles. Because when you look at, I did a video a couple weeks ago going into, they were talking about, I forgot who it was. They were talking about something on the news about World War III. And then it was a clip. It was a clip of they weren't nuclear missiles, but they were like just missiles falling down from the sky. And that's what it looks like. It looks like falling stars or whatever. It looks like stars because the way they're coming down, and it's like twinkling and like flashing. That's what it looked like. So that's why John said that. You see? And it's all through the Spirit, man. It's all through the Spirit. So the same exact thing with Ezekiel and everybody else. When they see things, or when they're recording something and they were writing it down, they were using what they had during that time. You see? And this is not an accurate picture of what it is, man. The first scripture, let's get to the scriptures. Let's actually go to it. The first thing I want to get is this, though. 1 Corinthians 13. Let's get straight to the point. 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 9. It says, "For we know in part, and we prophesy in part." Now you see, now there's things that we can prophesy on, and there's things that we can't go into because we don't know, because it's not written in the scriptures. You see, like for an example, if you were to ask, what does the chariot look like on the inside? Is there colors? What does the floor look like? What is the floor made of? What are the chariots made of? What color are the lights? Can you change the color of the lights? Can we do things like that? How do you fly? Is there a steering wheel? When you do all this, can I turn on the radio inside the brother? We don't know all that, man. We don't know that. We can't tell you what the material of the chariots look like. We can't tell you what the inside of the chariots look like. We can't tell you if we can turn the color. I want to have my lights red and blue, brother. We can't tell you that information on what it looks like. So that's what the stuff we prophesy in part. It says, "For we know in part, we prophesy in part." We can't tell you how tall we're going to be in the kingdom. We can't tell you how many each woman brother's going to have. We can't tell you how many women you're going to have in the kingdom. We don't know those things. We don't know what the day-to-day life is going to look like. That's something we have to wait until we get there. You see? We don't know that information. Is everybody gonna be able to fly, or is it gonna be some people gonna be able to fly and then some people gotta run fast, teleport? We don't know those things. There's like information like that that's not written in here. That's just, we know in part, we prophesy in part. And there's one of the things is, we know the chariots is in the scriptures. We can identify, we know what they are, but we can't tell you what they're made of. How big is it? Is all of them the same size? Well, we know that all of them not the same size, because how size is gonna be the bigger one. The biggest one. You see? Are all of them the same color? Do all of them fly the same speed? And we don't know this information. We can't tell you what material that they're made of, because we're not in it. We're not in them. We don't see them. We don't have one in our backyard to go, I tested it, and this is part diamond. This is part, there's all types of materials and atoms and all types of things that the chariots can be made out of. Well, we don't know. We can't tell you that. That's not written. You see? So I wanted to start off with that, because it's not every single thing we're going to be able to tell you. Just some things we going to have to live to find out. Just like in the time to get ready to come, when Jacob's trouble starting hitting. How is everybody going to be eating? How is the innumerable multitude going to be delivered? We don't know. We just know it's written. We know it's written. So at the point of time, they're going to be delivered. How you going to eat in a day-to-day basis? What you going to be doing? How you going to take a shower if you have to? How you going to, we don't know, man. We don't know. So that's why I want to start off with that. So let's start this. It says the vision of the four figures. This is Ezekiel 1. I'm not going to start at 1. This is describing the angels. I'm going to go down to when it starts describing the wheel. Like he said, a wheel inside of a wheel. Here we are right here. And we're going to start at 12. And they went every one straight forward, whither the Spirit was to go. It says they went and they went. It says they went and they turned, not when they went. It says, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like a burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps, it went up and down among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. This is verse 16. It says, the appearance of the wheels and their works was like unto the color of beryl. And they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went, they went up their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. And when the living creatures went, and the wheels went with them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, and for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. And when those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood. I'm just like, let me take another sip of water. It says, and those were lifted up from the earth. The wheels were lifted up over again against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. Right here, you just know this is not a representation because it says the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So that just right there is not that. And it's talking about the chariots, man. Ezekiel 1:22. It says, and the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. And under the firmament were their wings straight, the one toward the other. Everyone had two, which covered on this side, and everyone had two, which covered on that side their bodies. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads. And when they stood and had let down their wings. It says, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the man appearance of the man above it. Now, that's it on that. Now, also I want to do this too, because when you hear clouds, when you hear the chariots being described as clouds, or because you're going to be in the scriptures, you're going to hear the chariots being described as clouds. So when you understand that, you have to understand that it's not always talking about it's not talking about the white puffy pillow cloud in the sky, man. It's talking about the chariot, which we're going to prove that right now. And it says, Psalms 104, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. It says, who laid the foundations of the earth, that it shall not be removed forever. You see? And the same exact thing that Ezekiel was seeing when he was describing the chariot, it's the same exact thing that the apostles seen when Yahushua was taken up. You see? And just like the angels told, they said this same, which I got it right here, the same way that he left is going to be the same way that he's coming back. You see, and he got taken up in a cloud. And let's see that. This Acts, start at 8. Acts 1 and 8. It says, "But ye shall receive power. After that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witness unto me both in Jerusalem and all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth." And it says the ascension. Let's actually, hold on, let's get Mark. Here, let's do this. Let's get rid of that one. Let's see. Because they have right here for the precepts. So let's see. We're gonna get that as well to link up with what's being read right here. Acts 1 and 9, it says, "And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight." And what we just read in Psalms, he maketh the cloud his chariots. So a chariot received him. And who is that? It's Yahushua. "And when they looked steadfastly towards heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven." Do you see? The same way that you've seen him leave is the same way you're going to see him return. And what did he get taken up in? He got received. Like I said, it said a cloud received him, which is what is a chariot. So we don't know. We can't even tell you what the chariot looked like. Do you see? How big was it? What color were the eyes that was round about it? Is it how does it make noise when it flies? Was it quiet? How fast did he disappear when he went? We don't know all this information, man. You see? But I can tell you right now that picture right there is not an actual this picture. This is not a representation of the chariots, man, because that's what Ezekiel seen. Ezekiel seen the chariots. He didn't see whatever mythical. I don't know what they think that he saw. I don't know. You see? But that's just that. You see? So even now, when we have the chariot sightings, which the world identifies, the world sees them as UFOs, unidentified flying objects. See? So this world, when they see stuff like that, they think it's green, big green, 8, 9 feet, 10 feet tall, green. What is it? A rhombus head shaped aliens. Talking about some bebop boop and beaming up cows. That's what they think that's in there. No, man. That is the way that the angels and the Lord. And then we're gonna have chariots in the kingdom too. That's gonna be the way that that's gonna be our transportation. Then we're gonna have Lamborghinis in the kingdom. Hey brother, check out my new Lamborghini, man. Oh, you got a Lambo, brother? See, I got me a Mercedes S-Class, brother. You see that? You see, no, we're gonna be comparing chariots, man. Oh man, you got the we don't know what it's made out of. You got the so and so, you made yours out of that, man. I made mine out of this, that, and I made it this color. Ooh, brother, okay, I see you, yada yada yada. See, we don't know what the chariot is made out of. We can't tell you exactly what they look like. We can't tell you what's inside. What does it feel like? Does it make noise when it flies? You can't tell how fast it go. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell you that information because we're not in chariots. But that's what I say. You know in part, you prophesy in part. But let's get this also in Mark. Let's just get straight to the point. Mark 16 and verse 19, it says, "So then after the Lord had spoken unto them, he was received up into heaven and sat on the right hand of the Most High. And they went forth and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them and confirming the word with the signs following. Amen. You see? So after this, all this stuff, when this stuff was happening, this is after he was received, man. After the cloud received him and took him to be on the right hand of his Father, man. You see? He defeated death. And that's exactly what he's coming back. One of the reasons he's coming back, man. Because he's going to, the elect, when they make it out of here, these new bodies that were, eventually all Israelites is going to be in them. But to start off, is only going to be the elect. Is going to be the bodies that's going to defeat death, defeat all this decay, the immortality that we have, the limitations that these bodies have, the decaying, them getting rotten, them starting to get broken down and all this stuff. He's coming to give us new bodies, man, glorious bodies. You see, that's not going to decay. That's not going. You're going to have brought you. You was dancing last night at one of the parties, and then you hurt your back, and now you need some aspirin. Now you need Esau to whip you up some aspirin, so you can get through the rest of the day, man. No, man, we're gonna be super. We're gonna be like the angels, man. Do you see? But in here, habiting on the earth, that we'll be able to do earthly things, eat, drink, do those things. You see. And we can't tell you what the body's going to look like, how tall we going to be. Am I going to be able to bench 700 pounds, brother, with one hand and doing all? I'm going to have an 18 pack in the can. We don't know all that information, man. But we just know that the bodies are going to be beautiful. We know that for sure. A body, imagine a body that's not going to corrupt. So imagine all the corruption things that you deal with, your bad breath, your yellow teeth sometimes, bad breath, like I said, your cavities. You see, got to go to the dentist, get checks up, do all these things. Got to put glasses on, contacts, hair loss, beer gut, the ED, all types of things, man. All types of things that you deal with. You get the blemishes on your skin. You get pimples. You get the sniffles. You get the coughing and sneezing and allergies and everything, man. Anything that you can think of, that is all sign of a decaying body. We're not even going to have a pimple in the kingdom. It won't even be possible for your body to develop a pimple. You're not going to have a pimple. You're not going to have no cold. Oh, man, I need to give me a cough drop, man. Throat sore. Sore ain't going to be there. Your body's going to have no limitations. We know that. That's all because that's what the scriptures say. But every small, fine detail we do not know. But that right there in Ezekiel, that's not what it is. But there's also another account in Ezekiel 10, when he was describing the chariots is in that chapter as well, but that was more specific. That was talking about the angels as well in there. So I don't know if that I'm pretty sure, just based off that picture that right here, I'm pretty sure they're trying to say this is the chariot, that's not what the chariots look like, man. Because and when you see these videos of Esau showing like the low quality pictures of things like flying in the air, or you see something like appear and then reappear and then they do anything, it's because those are the chariots, man. Those are the chariots of the Lord. You see, that's what the elect is going to get beat. That's what the elect is going to be in. You see, when all the destruction and stuff coming to happen, when Yahweh Shai comes back, and with the angels going to be beaming up people. They're going to be beaming up people in them ships. And if you think about it, this how we know that's not this. If this was the chariot, where's everybody going to be at? Where's everybody going to be at? You beaming people up, where's everybody going to be at? That doesn't even make sense. So that's how you know that's not a chariot, man. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go into that. I just seen it and it was going to be real quick. So hopefully that's edifying. We know in part, therefore we prophesy in part, man. So that's how it is. So with that, hopefully that's edifying. You got some out of it. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, and millstone. I want you brothers pushing this truth and sincerity all over the earth. And then I want to thank Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, for giving me the power and the spirit to do this lesson. And I'll catch you guys another lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.